Woohoo! Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1041. We missed 1040. Yesterday was 1040, the last show, and we could have made a joke about taxes. And I gotta go see my tax person today. Her name is Dee. I'm using her for the first time. She seems like a really nice lady. I can't wait. But today is 1041, and it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located
Mike's Daily Podcast.
somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, at the last place on earth. Today we got so much going on, and
Mike's Daily Podcast.
yay, it's Friday! And let's look at what the news had to say about Mitt Romney's rant and rave about Trump's popularity. That is a massive white America wave. The news said Mitt Romney's just a loser who is a slave to whatever the Republican establishment tells him to do.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But if you listen to his speech, you know everything he said was true.
Mike's
Maybe not all that
Daily
stuff about Hilary.
Podcast.
He was a little rude with her.
Yeah.
What, not gonna pick on the old Jewish guy? But he wasn't rude with the fake blonde old guy. That was good. He really is a phony, the fake blonde old guy, blowhard. Yay, 8 more months of this stuff. I cannot believe. I turned, so right after, we have Fox News on here at Cafe Anyway. Don't ask. I know it's not right, but it's kind of fun to watch them, tote their hardcore agenda of, completely destroying the Democratic Party. But they do focus specifically on Republicans all day. So that's kind of interesting to see all the madness going on and how the Republicans are eating themselves and how they're so out of touch with their base. They're like, oh my gosh, why is Trump so popular? He's a white racist pig. Well, that's what your base has become. The Republican base is now. What does this mean? That more people are coming out to vote for Trump than they are coming out to vote for Hilary right now? Well, it could be that they're the ones that actually give a darn and go out and do it. And we're talking caucuses that require... Look who just walked in! Hi, Mike! It's Benita, the rodeo queen! Hi, how you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
Stop all this anti-Trump talk and anti-Republican talk. I mean, Trump is the man. I used to disagree with him.
You did?
Yeah, I thought, well, he's a little bit much. And he's not exactly a Republican because he used to be a Democrat for a while and he's got all those Hollywood friends.
Uh-huh. Go on.
That's about it.
So you did not agree with him you didn't think he was a conservative. You don't take he's what do you call it, a rhino, a Republican in name only thing, right?
Yeah, that's what he is. But then I liked how he hates everybody, and I said I can get behind that.
Oh, how about you, Benita? Mike, I like Hilary. Oh, look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. I'm Mike the Root Beer. I'm the Brewmaster. Oh, boy. Hello, darling.
It's Louis Armstrong, everybody. No, it's the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
Which candidate are you going to vote for?
I like Mitt Romney.
Yeah, he's not running.
No, I like his hair and how he reminds me of Ronald Reagan. Because Ronald Reagan was the president.
Yeah, that was kind of scary when he was the president. No, there was Bruce Springsteen singing Born in the USA, and Miami Vice was playing all the time. It was a great time in our country with the AIDS and everything.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, so, Benita, you like Hilary? Yeah, she's awesome, man. She's like real.
Yeah, we disagree politically.
It would appear. Wow.
But it makes for fun in the bedroom.
Interesting. Yeah, so Mitt Romney said some things that were true, and I thought, wow, that was good. I liked his speech. I'm like, wow, if he would have been more like that 4 years ago when he was running for president, maybe he would have gotten more votes. But then all of a sudden, all the people are like, well, he's out of touch. He's the establishment. That's Republicans for you. They don't know what's going on. So that's why Donald Trump... It's so weird. It's weird because you've got the conservatives that are saying that they're, the total moral majority, whatever you want to call them, Bible banging, whatever sort of fanciful term you would like to use. They don't like the Trump, but then a lot of them do, because he's also like, he hates other countries and he is totally un-PC, and people like that. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got he speaks. He is okay. That's about it. It's exhausting talking about Trump. I don't know how people do it. That's all Fox does all day. That's how Fox is also getting a lot of votes, is all they see is Fox stuff. And apparently the head guy at Fox is now not going to be giving Marco Rubio, of course, one of Trump's competitors for the Republican candidate nomination. Apparently they don't want to back, so I guess Rubio is going to get not all the love that he's been getting from Fox News lately. Wow. All right, now time for the Haley moment of the week. If this is the first show you ever listened to of Mike's Daily Podcast, we have Haley on just about every day, and Haley says some funny things. And here's a moment with Haley that was really good this past week.
The Haley moment of the week.
Daylight come
and me wanna go. I can't harmonize. Oh. Yay, all right, the Haley moment of the week. Time now to get to some interesting news. Fascinating material. It's a wonderful segment we called the Fascinating Material Project. And just want to remind you, too, we have a website called Mike'sDailyPodcast.com that has all the past podcast pictures. Every show has a picture attached to it that is of something that would make your eyes go, ooh, I like that picture. Like yesterday was a fine picture of Half Moon Bay and the sunset, even though, I don't know. If you lived in Half Moon Bay all the time, you'd probably get some wonderful sunsets. Yesterday may have been a little bit clouded, overcast. I live 45 minutes away from Half Moon Bay, so I kind of got to gauge it. I kind of got to look at the sky and go, is it going to be nice over there? I don't know. Do I want to spend 45 minutes on the road going there? Driving over hill and dale? I don't know. That's how it is here in the Bay Area. There, you got a little glimpse. And see a bunch of pictures that have to do with the Bay Area and other places I've been to. And there's, of course, photos of me and whatnot. All there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. And you can help us out, too, with the Amazon link. With the Amazon, whatever you're going to buy on the Amazon, go through that link at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com first, and then bookmark that. And anytime you do any shopping on Amazon, that helps us out. And there's also the PayPal if you want to help us out that way. And you can become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster, and all the Cafe Anyway characters will say hello to you. We'll send that to you as a special MP3. Then there's also the cassette cubbyhole, where you can hear old interviews I did that I saved on cassette because it was the 90s and I didn't know better. I was technologically completely backwards, kind of like a Trump supporter. And then there was also the places like all the past interviews I've done lately with interesting indie bands and indie artists and whatnot. You can hear all those at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. And finally, all the links to all the other places you can listen to this podcast to, and where we are on social media. Have I talked up Mike'sDailyPodcast.com? Email me at Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com if you'd like to do that. We read your comments on the section Emails from Email and your common not so comments. Now, the FM Project, the Fascinating Material Project.
The Fascinating Material Project.
The FM Project. The FM Project. The FM Project.
Holy smokes! There's a bunch of interesting inventions that were revealed this past week. One of them being a self-cleaning bathroom for airplanes. We already have self-cleaning bathrooms in San Francisco. They've been there for decades now. I've never been in one. They kind of scare me. Like, what if it locks and all of a sudden whatever they spray down that bathroom with sprays all over you? Maybe it's not water. I don't know. Maybe, well, apparently the aircraft manufacturer Boeing, according to money.cnn.com, has developed a self-cleaning restroom for planes. The bathrooms are designed so that they can be bathed in an ultraviolet light for just 3 seconds, killing 99.99% of germs. Now, I see this being huge. The millennials, like Haley, are so freaking germ-phobic. Oh my God. It's like that. That's how, if anybody wants to stop America, just like sneeze at us. Oh my God, we freak out, especially in the Bay Area. Everybody's wearing their sick masks all over the place on the bus and whatnot. Oh, germs, You know, frickin', it's just germs. They just make you sick. If you have a healthy immune system, if you're eating good foods, healthy foods, you're eating a lot of, real vegetables and, maybe a little bit of protein and just, exercising regularly, having a healthy diet and whatnot, getting all the sleep you need as close to 8 hours as possible. You don't have to worry so much about germs. And germs are everywhere, and we need some of them. The lights are positioned throughout the laboratory what the hell, whatever, the bathroom, to flood the touch surfaces like the toilet seat, sink, and countertops with the UV light once a person exits the laboratory. This sanitizing even helps eliminate odors. The company said in a press release that the process uses far UV light, which is distinct from the UV lights that can cause skin cancer and are not harmful to people in case you get stuck in one of the bathrooms, as I was mentioning earlier. It's for use while you're in the air to disinfect between those deeper cleanings. The technology is still in the testing phases, but it can potentially be installed in the bathrooms on existing planes. And the new bathroom design also features a toilet seat that opens and closes automatically to expose all surfaces during the cleaning cycle, as well as hands-free faucet, soap dispenser, trash can, hand dryer, toilet lid, and seat. I wonder if they're going to do... Maybe they should also install in this some kind of really good air suction system, because some people use the bathroom and whatever is coming out of that person is not so good, and then even though maybe they have flushed, hopefully, whereas I'm seeing flushing in general not happening as much as it used to in public bathrooms, but in the airplane bathroom, once they leave, sometimes there is a odor that permeates the back part of the plane. Maybe they could fix that situation. They also say, Boeing says, a hands-free door latch and a vacuum vent system, well, there you go, for the floor are also under study, all to keep the bathroom as hygienic as possible. The company added that the prototype testing has shown that these innovations can minimize the growth and potential transmission of disease-causing microorganisms. Welcome to the 21st century awesome. Now, also in the world, I was standing in my house. My kitchen kind of overlooks the street a little bit because I'm on a 2-story tri-level situation. I don't know. Does that make any sense to you house-savvy people? But I was looking down the street and I see that my neighbor, who has 2 girls that are teenagers, he's taking groceries out of the back of his car, and he's got 2 huge 1-gallon plastic bottles full of milk. He's bringing... I think he may have even had 3 gallons, to be thinking of it. So milk is still really big. I have stopped purchasing milk, for I am a grown man, and I don't feel good. I have become lactose intolerant in my 40s, and I just don't need it. I don't put it in anything. I stopped eating cereal because it's so fattening. And like if I make a smoothie or something, I don't need it. I don't need it for baking. I just don't use milk. But it appears that the public in general doesn't like milk so much anymore. The fact that the sheer number of adults who have trouble digesting can support an entire sub-industry of dairy products has led some to question whether we should be drinking milk at all, according to dig.com. That said, this has not stopped enterprising dairy farmers from coming up with a more drinkable milk. Australia's A2 milk has just started, another interesting invention. Unlike regular milk, which contains both A1 and A2 beta-casein proteins, A2 milk is drawn from cows that produce milk with just A2 proteins. The company and the scientists that support them claim that milk with A1 proteins leave behind fragments when digesting that cause inflammation, and that people who drink milk with just A2 proteins feel better. Research-wise, the verdict is still out, but the market's response has been divisive. In the past year, A2 milk's market value has tripled to over $1 trillion. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the podcast picture is... Have I spoken about Alabama before? Oh, yes, I have many times on this show. But in Alabama, you can get a very large house by a lake, right next to a lake. And there's green grass everywhere, and it's beautiful. And I've took many a picture of these houses when I lived in Alabama, wishing I could own one. But the fact of the matter is, it's also humid as heck in Alabama, and if you live by that lake, it makes it even more humid. So that's not a good thing. But it's a beautiful picture. And check out that picture now at mikesdailypodcast.com. Mike, I can't wait to see that picture.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go home with my beautiful Benita and discuss politics in the bedroom.
That should be fun. Yeah! Hillary's gonna win!
Trump's gonna win.
I like grapes! Yeah, grapes are good. I think grapes should become president. What? So, basically, whatever Haley was saying about Bernie, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Yeah, you may be a Bernie supporter, but the writing's on the wall. You just can't see it yet because it's in lemon ink, and you need the ultraviolet light to see it. It's not going to happen for Bernie. He's just not getting the publicity. The media, as I've discussed earlier, is nuts. Don't like the media, but the media just does not give Bernie all the publicity that a Trump does and that a Hillary does. And Hillary, whether she's getting the negative publicity with pertaining to Benghazi or her emails, she's still getting a bunch of publicity, free publicity, and that's driving votes. And you saw that in the Super Tuesday that she did really well. Oh, but Bernie got a couple states. Yeah, that was a fluke. And you know what? Who else got states? Kasich got a bunch of votes earlier in the whole primary season, and he's not doing so well. So it doesn't mean anything. I think it's down. We just got to realize it's going to be down to Trump and Hillary, whether the Republicans like it or not, whether the hardcore liberals like it or not. It's going to be Hillary and Trump. And what does that mean? And who are they going to pick as vice presidents? That's what it really comes down to, because then you create the actual ticket, and that is going to be interesting to see, because then you'll have pull either way. You can debate it all you want, but John McCain getting the crazy Alaskan governor on his ticket did not help him in the least, which I'm sure he is going to admit to you right away if you ever meet John McCain. I would have voted for John McCain. I liked John McCain, but then he started talking real Republican rhetoric-y, and then got Palin on his ticket, and that was like, wrong. And then Paul Ryan actually helped Mitt Romney when he got on Mitt Romney's ticket, and then it looked really good towards the end for Mitt Romney, but then at the last minute, people were like, No. We like Obama. We're going to keep him around. Joe Biden may have helped or hurt Obama. For the most part, Democrats like Biden, so they were going to vote for Obama anyway. He had such a wave. So that's the whole thing, too. People are talking about 8 years ago, you had Obama with this big populist wave of people wanting him in office, and it saturated the social media. And Hilary lost quite a few. She was doing good for a while, as Haley brought up, but then she started losing stuff to Obama. Now people are trying to compare Bernie's social media craze with Obama's, and it's just not the same. It is not the same. If you were alive in 2008, it's not the same. It really wasn't. As much as Bernie is awesome, I just don't think in the end it's going to happen for him. So we'll see, though I could be completely wrong. But I do think we need to start thinking about who is Hillary and Trump going to use as their vice president. I think Trump's going to pick a loser. If he picks George... there I go again. I always want to call him George Christie, the head of the Hells Angels in Ventura chapter. Chris Christie. And if Hillary picks someone like a... she would never pick Bernie as a vice president. I doubt. Well, we'll have to see. Anyway, it's time for Addendum with Kevin.
Addendum with Kevin.
Kevin's here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the outside of Cafe Anyway. See the birds chirping.
It's a lovely day outside.
Did we have you on last week? No. Wait, yes. No. Because that was the messed up Jarrell week when Jarrell wasn't in.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I had to work all the day. I didn't do a podcast all week.
Did you really not?
Yeah, I didn't have time Friday morning because of the Rob show.
Yeah.
That I had.
Oh, yeah. That is the day that will live in infamy.
Oh, and that was the day where you had to cut off your thing with not your thing, but the beer, your beer job.
Yeah.
To come into the radio job.
Mm-hmm. Then I forgot something. I had everything all planned out, had all the shifts all taken care of, and I forgot to take care of a minor detail that happened to involve our boss. And did I get a talking to? I've not been yelled at like that.
Oh no!
By anyone who's not my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
But
be okay.
to be fair, your mom has given you a lot of practice.
Yeah, I've been getting shouted at since. Basically, she was screaming when I came out of the womb, and she has not stopped yet.
Wow. So you really can't yell at Kevin. It doesn't faze him.
Yeah.
It bounces off of him and hits you, and it's like you're yelling at yourself.
Yeah.
Basically. So don't yell at Kevin.
It's okay.
So that Friday was a bummer.
That was a disaster. A grade A, industrial grade screw up.
Well, I hope this past week was better.
Yeah, it was.
I was able to get some podcasts done. I
heard Haley's part. That's very good.
You heard Haley?
The Daily Haley.
Oh, the Daily Haley,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, we talked about it. Very good. He's very excited to do it. It sounded good, too.
He likes Bernie Sanders.
No surprise there. I don't mean that in a mean way, everybody. I like Haley. I'm so on Bernie. Just like, when your friend who, went to Berkeley and, eats soy milk, everything. It's like, I'm voting for Hillary. Like, I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all.
Now, I was enjoying a nice tall glass of soy milk with Haley. See, now I'm thinking of Hillary because I don't know what. Can you really vote for Trump? Because it's kind of scary. I don't know. He how much of it is bluster? And if he had to get down to brass tacks, like they were trying to do at the debate last night, they were like, Donald, if you were, you know that the military says that they wouldn't do the things you want to do, like kill terrorist families and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, they would do what I told them to do. And I'm like, oh, so he's going to put the Trump mafia onto the military. That would be interesting.
Well, that's kind of interesting because, I mean, he would be technically that seat is the commander-in-chief.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
they do have to do what he
I was
says.
like, hang on. There's no Santa Barbara. I don't feel like doing it, man. You know, it's just my inner child doesn't want to go to Afghanistan. No, what the president or commander-in-chief says kind of goes.
Right.
For every president we've ever had. He doesn't, you know, I don't know, you know, like the head of the Marines doesn't get to say no. No, that's not how this job works.
Have you seen the bad lip syncing video?
I watched the Ted Cruz one last night.
I did too.
Wow, spectacular.
So the thing is that really is Ted Cruz's mouth moving.
Yes.
But the guy has gone over and overdubbed.
Oh, have you not heard of these before?
No, I had not seen these.
Oh yeah, it is a young man in his 20s who actually his mother is deaf. And he had practiced reading lips before, so he could kind of, you know, interact with her a little bit more. And basically he said, wow, I'm really terrible at this. Sometimes I see other things that just are not there. And he said, well, I'll just do it on YouTube videos, and it'll be hilarious.
It is genius. Do you know, several elections back, the whole, what do you call it, jib jab thing? And I think it was when Kerry was running against Bush, and they did the whole jib jab, and they're singing and they're showing off all their, you know, scandals, and it was kind of fun. I don't laugh at jib jab anymore. I hate jib jab. It's all about the lip sync guy. That's so funny.
Well, when everybody's mom and aunt and cousins got on jib jab and sent you 7 of them in a day, it's like, you know what, this is kind of annoying. I don't need to see a bunch of flappy flash images of my head going around. They kind of like the South Park characters, the Canadians with the flappy heads.
Terrence and...
Yeah, Terrence and Philip and...
Yeah. Ike, yes. So we were discussing Dave Attell.
Yes.
And
the comic genius.
But how long can he go? Does he still drink a lot of beer and smoke?
I don't know. I sure hope so, because that's kind of what makes him funny.
And then his hours, I mean, he's staying up really late. I don't know. It's not going to be, health-wise, very good for him.
He's not going to make it very long.
He kind of looks already a little, I don't know, like somebody stepped on him.
But the struggle is what makes him funny. If he showed up with a sweater vest on and said, come on, people, don't just hate it when they're out of your favorite almond milk and all they have is cashew milk, that wouldn't be as funny as him talking about, you know, watching a man masturbate on the subway. That's what, you know, him talking about the gutters of society.
Yes.
You know, and him being in it is hilarious.
The one I watched was Insomniac. I watched the old Insomniacs from Comedy Central. They've got them all on YouTube now. And there was the one when he was in Ontario, Montreal or Toronto. I don't know.
Canadian city.
Yeah. And this French-Canadian guy walks up to him and is talking to him. And, you know, you can tell it's like 2 a.m. This guy talking to Dave is probably on some kind of strong drug of some sort. And it's just going, and just pointing at Dave, you know, and he won't shut up. And Dave is trying to go, and you know, you can't, Dave can interrupt you in a snap because his voice has got this, it's, you know, there's this total, like, from his, I don't know, some lung, total lung tissue flying in your face from Dave Attell because it's just so from him. And the French guy finally stops talking, and Dave jumps in front of him and goes, waving his arms around, and then stops and goes, see, how do you like it? And there were cute girls there that he was trying to talk to, and the French guy kept yelling at him, and, you know.
What I was telling you, kind of, I guess this kind of sums it up, is I was saying that, you know, if he was fancy and classy, it wouldn't help that much.
Yeah.
He had one of his best jokes is when he would always say, if you're an alcoholic, but you drink wine, you're not an alcoholic. You're just gay. So, alcoholics have real stories. I got really blasted and I drove to Hartford in 7 hours and I got out and I, did something awful. He's like, no one wants to hear your wine drunk stories. I got loaded and put on my Bermuda shorts and went antiquing. No one wants to hear that.
Yeah, there's definitely a classiness to wine. And women like to drink wine.
Yes, which is why it's so popular.
However, millennials, I think a lot of millennial younger women are getting into the beer, as we've discussed before.
Yeah, I think wine kind of... I'm not ever going to say that it had its time in the sun, especially here in California.
No, that would be great. Raisins, if grapes are in the sun.
Rim shot, please.
I don't know. That was my humor, and that's why I'm not on Comedy Central.
No, it was good. No, we got it.
So
fruit humor. Brought to you by Mike.
Hi, fruit humor.
Yes. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Wow! That was a twist of words, and so it had its time in the sun.
Yes.
The wine.
I kind of, I think it's gone pretty far. We've done domestic wine. We've done French wine. We've done Italian wine. We've done Argentinian wine. We've done German wine. I mean, there's even English wine out there, which sounds like a joke, but I promise you it's not.
The English whine about everything.
Yes.
It's too bloody wet outside rain.
That's kind of fun. You pop the cork of English wine, just goes. Sorry, we can't help it.
That's they because English people clear their throats a lot,
and it's a bit of a sarcastic harump.
Yeah, Americans can't do it like that.
Yeah, we just call you a jerk and move on, or some four-letter word.
Apparently, Europe is all bewildered by Trump too, because England said, "Oh no!" When they heard about us loving Trump so much and him winning all these elections, they're like, "Oh well, that's basically everything we believe about America." That's what Trump is.
Can I say one thing though? For my whole life, I come from a big Italian family, and I'm so tired of European snarkiness.
Yeah,
where they hold it over our heads. Excuse me, this is Europe. You guys elected Berlusconi in, okay? A man who basically is a corny playboy who philanders with supermodels all day, and you have the hairy huevos to get mad at us? I mean, Putin.
Yeah.
That itself says, like,
but
really?
That's East
I'm
Europe.
the bad guy? Really?
That's Russia.
That is true, yes. But I mean, like, come on. Don't tell me that, everybody we've ever elected is, a Berkeley grad student who helps build homes for underprivileged people out of recycled wood from pallets. Stop it. No, you're not.
We need to go to Berkeley, you and me, and just videotape it, because I want to show Kevin in Berkeley. It would be the funniest thing.
Oh, I've done it once before, and I never went back. I did it once. I was in Berkeley once in, 2000.
But the campus is nice.
They tell you that.
Cool.
The city, the whole thing needs to it needs to be lit on fire in its own pot fumes, and we'll burn it down and start over again.
But Berkeley has the Triple Rock.
Yeah, I know. Jupiter. Then those places are all great, but
how about we get on BART, and they're really close to BART. We step over the do you know what happened to me in Berkeley right there by the BART station? I was married at the time. This blind guy, we're right by the ATM, and a blind guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey, can you help me withdraw money from this?"
What?
And I'm like, "Okay." And so he puts the card in. And he goes, "What? I want to withdraw $100. What do I press?" And I told him to, press these numbers, and then he withdrew the money, and he went on his way. And my ex-wife goes, "Don't ever do that again." I'm like, help a blind person? No, it's with the money, and you can get involved in a whole bunch of problems with that. I'm like, okay.
I know what she's saying, but it's like, come on, what's the poor guy going to do?
We're going to go to Berkeley someday.
Yes, Mike and Kevin have their Berkeley adventure. And that'll be like a special 1 hour podcast. That's going to be a special.
We'll record it all in the field. And we'll wear our Birkenstocks. No, wait, we don't own Birkenstocks.
No, this will get ugly real fast.
But Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Anything you want to talk about else about beer or wine or anything?
No. Whatever you want, beer or wine, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy. And that's about it.
Okay.
And if you like beer, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you.
Yes.
In fact, one of our intrepid broadcasters we work with, who's a very polite gentleman, who's a very big wine and beer enthusiast, and always has about 1,000 questions to ask me. And he sends me a list of about 9 cities and goes, "Can you go ahead and give me like an itinerary of places to hit at all these 9 or 10? I'm like, really? I'm doing your like itinerary for you?
Oh, yeah.
But here's the annoying part is he asked me what are good questions, what are good breweries in all these cities, and I know them off the top of my head. I do know these things.
He has a great way of knowing your specialty, and then he harnesses that.
Yes.
I really enjoy the way he does his show.
Yes.
And talks and has this. He talks really quickly and then stops.
Yes.
I like that.
And he has long, and you hear a lot of mouth noises. Well, we're going to be going to break here soon. And it's just like, would you please stop that? It's like a dog licking water.
We did that whole thing without ever saying his name once.
Yes, we did.
We're so good.
We are.
Podcasting stealth. Did you want to mention your brewery?
Yeah, come on down to 21st Amendment. We're
there
in
we
San
go.
Leandro. We have a little pub in San Francisco on 2nd Street between Bryant and Brennan. In San Leandro, we're at 2010 Williams. Please come hang out with us. We'd love to have you.
Go today after I get my taxes looked at by my very hot Indian tax preparer woman. God, she's hot. I think she's married, though.
Oh, well.
That's my life.
I know. It sucks. We all have that.
Everybody I like's married or
insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
In the membrane. Thank you so much for being on the show. Next show, I will have Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley stop by. Maybe Haley.
Yeah.
And then we'll drink some soy milk. Or almond milk.
Who knew you could juice nuts?
Juice nuts?
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super